It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This right here is Car Con Carne. Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Alstyne. Car Con Carne is presented by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. Experience seamless control over audio, video, lighting, climate, security, everything. Embrace the future of smart living. It's your home, your rules. Get a quote. It's hassle-free, and it's free by visiting easy-automation.net or give my guy Dan a call. Dan can be reached at 630-730-3728. If you're watching that on YouTube or on Facebook, that number is right there on the screen for you. Meanwhile, Car Con Carne returns to the live event world. I did a handful of live events around episode 1000. We did them at the Q101 studio. We did it at Liars Club, Skeleton Key Brewing in Woodridge, and Siren Records in McHenry. I love doing that. There's nothing like a live event. So Car Con Carne returns to doing live events at Legit Dogs and Ice in South Elgin on Thursday, April 3rd. Join me for a live recording of this right here podcast. Legit Dogs and Ice, soon to reopen. It's got that cool punk rock vibe, nice stage in the middle, awesome food, lots of beverages. 322 South Randall Road. East Moon performing live. We'll be talking to them. Ricky Liontone's Review also performing live. It starts at 8:30. Doors are at 7:30. And this is the first of a monthly series kicking off in South Elgin. If you are in Wrigleyville, like I am right now, you may need to charter a flight to get out there, but it's well worth it. Once you get there, Legit Dogs and Ice, April 3rd. More on that to come. Finally, Car Con Carne, also sponsored by 90 Days in the 90s. It is a rock and roll time travel story, the ultimate novel about the 90s and the Chicago music scene. Join record store owner Darby. She owns a record store and finds her way back to the 1990s in Chicago, arguably an idyllic time to be in and around the city's music scene. She jumps on the gray line, not the brown line, which we're staring at here on Southport, jumps on the gray line to time travel back to her carefree 20s, soaking up all the pop culture and rock nostalgia that you could possibly imagine. To learn more, go to 90daysinthe90s.com or pick it up on Amazon.com or wherever you buy books. My guests tonight... Sorry, that was a lot. Was that too much?
No, you're good. I mean,
okay.
I'm
was
smelling
awesome.
these.
Please,
so good.
We're not standing on ceremony. Please, eat the empanada. You've been thinking about this all day. I want you to be happy, Danny. My guests are CalicoLoco. I have Danny in the front seat, Zeke in the back seat. CalicoLoco, winners of Local Album of the Year in the Chicago Reader's Best of Chicago 2024 survey. That's a big deal, right? I mean, that must have been a thrill.
Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah.
We're industry planned, so
Yeah. We're a Chicago Reader's favorite band.
yeah. They industry planted us into the scene, so
No.
it was expected.
You say that, which makes me think that someone has said something like that to you in the past.
No. It's so no. We're super grateful. We just like we're a newer band. You know, we've only been doing this for a few years. We were nominated a couple years ago for for the Best Emerging Band, and we were freaking out. We're like, oh my god, this is it. We're gonna be famous now. This is crazy.
That's how it works.
And we won, and we're very grateful for that. And I gave my mom one of the magazines. I was like, Mom, check this out. Oh my god. So this time, it was like we were really grateful, but it wasn't. We were like, oh, we're famous now, like we were the first time. So we were just kind of joking, like, oh, we're industry plans 2 years, not back to back. We didn't do anything last year.
Wasn't it last year? I don't remember.
No,
I can't keep track of time.
No, last year, I don't remember. No, it couldn't have been last year. I don't remember. What I do know is that this show is so good. I'm sorry I can't stop talking about it. I'll take another bite.
All right, we're going to talk about Cafe Tola, which we are in front of in a moment. I should mention, this car right now, it's kind of rarefied air. We have the winners of the Best Chicago Album in Chicago. Also, the second runner-up of Best Podcast. Not the first runner-up, not the winner, but second runner-up.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's something.
That's great.
And runner-up for Best Music Podcast, which is cool.
And there's a lot of good podcasts in Chicago.
A lot of good podcasts.
Be runner-up is like...
It's crazy how many good things there are for each category. Like, it is pretty...
Yes.
It's pretty awesome to see how many, like, different people we know that are nominated.
That's what I was going to say. Like, every category, I'm like, oh, I don't want to vote because I know that person and that person. Am I the asshole if I vote for that person and that... You start to feel guilty.
There were some categories I didn't vote for because I was like, I can't decide.
Right, it's not right.
It's tough, but...
All right, so we're at Cafe Tola. I've been meaning to do this interview with you. I've been meaning to ask you for a while. I'm trying to think of a place to go in this general area. Like, without hesitation, this was the one you suggested. Mm-hmm. What, is this a haunt for you? Are you a regular?
No, it's just... I mean, I don't live out here. I mean, I don't live on this part of the city, but I go to Music Box a lot, which is up the street. So whenever I come here and I'm hungry, this is always my to-go spot. Just because the guava queso empanada is like,
which may be this.
You haven't tried it yet. You have to. I could just be all talk right now. You gotta try it.
Yeah, this is a recommendation. Well, I got the guava and I got the pinto bean and jalapeno. So very different. Not sure what this is going to be. This is kind of a roll of the dice.
Try it. It's gonna be good no matter what.
Zeke, are you down with all this? You down with the empanadas?
Oh yeah, I'm like almost done with mine.
I'm gonna finish mine right now.
I'm just like chowing down like crazy.
This is the pinto bean with the jalapeno. This is awesome. This is also really good hangover food.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And really good stoner food. It really scratches all the itches, doesn't it?
It's everything. Everything.
So, I mentioned local album of the year. Why do you think your music and that album have connected the way they have?
This is a really good question. I don't know. I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. I forgot what the conversation was, but they were asking us how we've kind of gotten to the point that we've been doing it. And honestly, I don't know. Maybe this is reductive, but I think that our music is fine. Just like so many other bands in Chicago. Like, the city has so
that should go on the hype sticker for the vinyl.
Like,
this music is fine.
Like, I don't know. There's like so many amazing musicians in the city.
There are.
And I think one of the reasons that our record's connected with people is because, like, I am always just, like, trying to, like, you know, work with other people and, like, build community and make all these, like, very genuine connections and with all these other bands. It's why I get my feelings hurt when, like, a band comes on tour and wants to play with us and they don't really talk to us, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to be their friend.
Who does that?
You don't even name names. You'd be surprised. But, you know, I mean, I get it. You're on the road. You're tired. I honestly... When we were on tour, I wouldn't be surprised if there's another band in the city. Like, CalicoLoco didn't talk to us on tour.
Right. After,
like, 2 weeks, we all stink. I don't know why you even want to talk to us at that point. But, I don't know. Honestly, I'm like, part of me is just like, we've just been, like, grinding it out and, like, playing with all these folks. I wouldn't be surprised if we won just because we have so many friends that we've met along the way.
That certainly helps.
But
that's not going to get you all the way.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not good at talking about myself.
No, well, you know what it is? This comes up all the time. This is classic Midwestern self-deprecation.
We're almost a Midwestern emo band. Maybe not to take the emo part out, but we got the first half there.
Well, I mean, I have my own feelings as to what clicked for people with this. These are raw, honest, kind of joyful songs on the album. They feel very, I use the word honest. It feels almost like some of these songs were recorded live, one take in the studio. I know that's probably not the case, but to make something sound like that is pretty remarkable.
The fact that you think that makes me so happy, because we recorded so many layers of guitars, and Wes, our recording guy, was like, you guys have the most double tracks of any band that I've ever worked with.
It has that like garage, like one take, let's bang this shit out.
Oh, I love
kind of
that
vibe.
That's sick.
I'm so happy because honestly, the recording of it was so fun, but we were so meticulous about this one that we're like, you know, we're currently just running through like new songs and demos, and we're like, we want to take the exact opposite approach because it was like so like, you're like, Wes, hey, can you punch in just for this one note, just at this one specific spot? He wants to know what we're doing.
I know. The police car pulled right next to my car. You know, I've been doing this now for 11 years. No one's really stopped to ask questions.
You just want to see what we were eating.
Yeah, right. Oh, empanadas. Damn, I hope I can get there before they close at 8.
No more guava quesos.
So, the Metro show was last month. Was that kind of a crowning achievement up until this point?
Oh my God, that show was amazing. Just like the venue people were like, it was. After that show, we were like, man, we never want to play anywhere else. I mean, we obviously have to.
Yeah.
And, I mean, every venue is nice in the
And we want to, so please keep booking.
It was like the people who run that venue are so nice, and
It's like they've been doing it for a while.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're good. Like when I don't know, like I've been yelled at some door people before, because some venues have kind of scary door people, which sometimes you gotta be scary. But I remember I walked up to the front door of the Metro. I didn't know how to get in. I showed up too early. I just showed up, just knocked.
I show
on
up
the
early
front
to
door.
everything, like this podcast.
Oh yeah,
It's my curse.
Well, you had to get. We got that's because of you. We got the guava quesos. Otherwise, now they're all sold out. But I knocked on the front door, and I was so ready for the door person to be like, "We're not open yet." But he just came to the. He didn't even know I was in a band. He just came to the door and he's like, "Hey, what's up? Doors aren't for a couple hours." I'm like, "Oh," and I froze up because I'm really shy. And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Are you really shy?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. That's why the guitars are so loud on stage.
There it is.
But I was like, "Oh, I'm here to load in," and he was like, "Are you in a band?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, so nice. He's like, "Which band?" I'm like, "Oh, CalicoLoco," and he's like, "Oh, why didn't you say so?" Yeah, pulling right there. That was the nicest door person ever. And then they had people to help us carry our amps upstairs. I'm like, this is crazy. And I forgot her name, but the person who was doing hospitality was so nice. She kept on giving us unlimited Topo Chicos. The sound was so good. I've never played a venue where they have a dedicated front of house sound person and then a dedicated monitors person.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, I didn't even realize that until you brought that up.
Yeah, it was like it sounded so good. And I always like to thank the sound people on our shows. I'll be like, give it up to so and so, and I'm like, Steve, and sometimes everybody else is like, Steve. Some people are like, why are you shouting out the sound guy? I don't know. I just love a sound guy chant.
Yeah, everyone who worked there was super helpful. Yeah.
Metro's a milestone for local bands. What's the next milestone?
Chicago Reader album, best album 2 years in a row.
There it is.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I feel like I'm always kind of the person that just tries to enjoy the process. I feel like when we started this band, I thought very milestone orientated. And oriented, whatever
But
the word
did that feel almost like it was getting in the way of?
Yeah, I was able to have fun. I remember we had this one song that got a bunch of streams. It went a little viral on Instagram, Instagram, and it got it was getting at one point it was getting 1,000 streams a day, and I was more anxious than I was happy. I was like, oh my god, how do we keep this up? And then turns out you can't keep that up because it's just random. And now that song we have other songs that are surpassed it. That song gradually, right? That one song had a huge big moment, and we're like, oh my god, this is it. But it's all about just sustained success and community building and just being
creating
good
shit
vibes.
you like.
Yeah, so I'm
Creating
I'm
stuff
always
you feel
thinking
good about.
what's the next step? I don't know. We're working on new tunes. We're playing shows. We're playing Stoopfest next month, or in 2 months, which I'm really pumped about. But I don't know. I'm just just as long as you're having fun.
I feel like the next milestone really isn't a place or a thing. I just really like when people ask about the songs and references that we make within them and what we got inspiration from. Or if
Hey Zeke, can I ask you about the songs on the new album, I Love Myself?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with Gender Dysphoria. See, this is what he likes. I'm trying to play right into his what he asked for. I think I need a new body. Serious topic, but the song is so breezy and light, it almost sounds like two different things are happening at the same time.
When we wrote the album, we had a specific goal of starting the, I don't know, I'm trying to think how to say this. I feel like sometimes, not there's anything wrong with this, but sometimes big projects, especially debut albums or whatever, can have this big epic build up, or we just wanted to start the album with amps at 11 as loud as possible, and that's why we start the song or the album off with just like as loud. I think that's like almost one of the loudest parts of the album.
Yeah, the guitar makes itself known
Yeah,
on this album, which I absolutely love.
there's like 16 guitar parts going on.
Softball, not the kind of softball you'll see in a Chicago park. This is more of the emo variety, BAWL. This is where the emo comes out, I guess.
That song was the funniest thing because I had texted Zeke like maybe like a few weeks before we had like started recording the album, and I was like, Zeke, I got this song idea. I want to call it Softball. And he was like, that's cool. Let's do it. And then we were like about to go to the studio. We were all talking, and I don't remember what the exact consensus was, but we just weren't feeling the album at the moment. Like we thought it was a little too dreary. It was a little like, things aren't working. And we ended up cutting 3 songs last minute. And then we added that song. And actually, we added that song last minute to make up for it. And when we added that song, it's just so goofy and fast-paced and fun. And people moshed to it. People didn't used to not mosh at our shows. So it was just a silly little, like, wait, let's just add this in. Sometimes I think that my favorite songs that I write are the ones that I write in, like, 2 hours. I think
the history of rock and roll is littered with those examples.
Yeah, I texted Zeke, like, hey, Zeke, I'm going to send a song. I got an idea. And he was like, hell yeah. And then it was, like, that afternoon, right?
Yeah, because that song came from like a 6-minute epic or like 8-minute.
Oh
epic.
yeah.
That was a demo, and then I was like, oh, I like this part.
Yeah, we had like a
it.
9-minute or 8-minute demo, and it was fine. It's actually I remember Molly runs Your Mom Records. They texted me and they were like, I'm crying at Target listening to this song, and I was like, oh, Molly, that's the one that we're cutting. Sorry, Molly. But like I took a lot of those lyrics and I just put it with the fast-paced little softball thing, and it was easy. It took like an afternoon.
Well, I'm going to jump around a little bit since you talked about epic songs. I know you have epic songs in you. I hear hints of that, or that inclination, on I Miss My Friend, which, personally, selfishly, my favorite song on the album.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
This is dreamy pop that just builds to this wash of feedback and guitars. Like, I hear that epic inclination you're talking about there.
Yeah, it's that one. There's a few spots. There's this part. There's this one Wilco song where they purposely play a bunch of wrong notes and feedback, and the drums play out of time, and then it like finally comes together at the very end for this big build. And I remember in the studio we were like, "Hey Wes, can we do this?" And I was explaining it to Dean, who drummed on the album, and
Dean Sinclair.
Dean Sinclair, I loved. He's the best. I explained it to him, and I was like, "I need you to play badly," and he was like, "What?" I'm like, "I just need you to just like play random toms," and he's like, what?" And then you're like, "Here, just trust me," and then.
It's like asking a chef to cook with Spam.
Yeah, don't get me started on Spam though. Spam and eggs.
Fair.
But anyway, I remember looking at his face, and he's like, "Huh?" And he's just like hitting toms randomly. I'm like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." And then Wes, the guy who helped engineer the record and mixed it and everything, he had the idea to slow that down, like pitch shift it, to get this really weird warbly kind of just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like maybe unsettling tone, and I think it really worked because then when it comes back together at the end, it gets really loud. It works, and I think the song is kind of an emotional one. So I think those unsettling kind of bad drums and the underneath everything else kind of.
I love it.
That. Thank you.
Let's focus on Zeke. Zeke Goes to Lala.
Hey.
On this one, I hear all kinds of things. I hear Britpop. I hear 90s indie rock. I hear everything kind of coming together. Talk about this one. Well, first of all, what is this really about? You going to Lala?
So, Danny started this song, the lyrics at least, with our friend Pork Boy. And
Pork Boy. The worst superhero name in all of history.
And they're vegetarian too.
But they thought, because we called it that because I did just go to Lala, so we had a demo name called Zeke Goes to Lala, and it was just a random demo name. And they thought Lala meant like La La Land, not Lollapalooza.
Fair.
So that's kind of where the song, where they started writing lyrics, right, Danny? And then you guys just started going off of that instead of.
Yeah, it's there's some lines where they wrote the lyrics for the first half because we had been sitting on that demo for like a year, and then I finished the second half. But it was so helpful because the first half that they wrote was nothing at all like I I didn't think that was gonna be the song name. That was just what we called the demo.
Right.
Because Zeke basically played this riff all the time, like this na 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 na, like all the time. And the one rehearsal he wasn't at, we just jammed over that riff, and we're like, hey, we should call this Zeke's Law. But it was helpful getting that perspective, because I was trying to think like all these different themes, and they were just like, hey, he goes to La La Land, because they're from California, so they didn't know what Lollapalooza was. But
that song, I really wanted to do like a Teenage Fan Club Grand Prix sort of sound, especially at the end. Like, I really wanted to try to do something like Teenage Fan Club,
Which kind of checks the boxes for Britpop and 90s indie music at the same time.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done. Can You Drive Me Home? Was that recorded at your place? The video?
yes, Luciana.
Who needs to rent space when you have your apartment?
Yeah, and we actually, I felt bad. My girlfriend had been asking me to paint our apartment for like 4 or 5 months after we moved in, and what happened was we weren't able to secure the space to record the video in time, and we were going to do our friend's garage, but we were like, it's kind of just a boring looking garage. No offense, but it's a show my friend who watching this. It was just a garage. So we were like, so I was like, hey, what if I paint our living room for time for the music video? And Erica was like, she's like, that's what it takes you to paint the house. So we got a house painted out of it, and went to Sherwin-Williams and painted the house.
I'm not okay. I feel sick to my stomach. Literally, this sounds like the ramifications of a night of overindulgence, but I realize that this could also be the result of some poor decisions and emotional situations going on.
Yeah, I wrote the song. It sounds so much worse than it actually is. Two things about the song that aren't true. The one, it's a song about getting high. I don't get high. I don't know. I get 2 yoinks when I get high. But there's some lines where I'm like, I'm so high.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm a fake stoner. But the song.
So I can't tempt you with another empanada then.
No, you can't. I gotta save him for popcorn later. The movies. Right. But I wrote the song because I had somebody drive me home from a show one time. We had a show at Cafe Mustache. We played with Yoko and the Yonos. That's gonna be the good one.
I can't wait.
And
you've been hyping this.
I just had like 2 beers, so I just wanted to drive home. And I was like, you know what? If I was really drunk right now, this would be an awesome song. So I wrote about it. So just imaginary, but we need an empanada report.
The cheese makes it.
It's so good.
Oh my god!
Cheese is
it goat cheese? No, I don't even know.
It's just good. It's queso.
Yeah, this is definitely sweet and savory and all the things.
And we're not sponsored. They're not sponsoring.
No,
we paid for this.
We definitely paid for this. This I really like. The bean and cheese one was fine. It tastes like pintos and cheese at Taco Bell in a wrapper, but this is great.
That one's
maybe that's the next milestone, is getting a Cafe Tola sponsorship, like a CalicoLoco event or something.
All right, hang on.
Cafe Tola DIY show.
That'd be sick.
I want to talk. Tell me about Nightmare, Nightmare, Nightmare. This is a beautifully constructed song. You kind of tucked some of these songs at the end of the album, which blows my mind. Talk about that song.
That one is... I remember... Okay, so this one, the movie trailer... I just saw the movie trailer. What?
I was just thinking about that before you started talking about it.
So there's this one movie trailer for Okja, the movie with the giant like pig monster thing, and it's about like farming and factory and meat eating, and it's like one of those. It's just such a depressing movie, but the movie trailer had this amazing remix of this one song, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go listen to the original version of that song. It was so epic. Like, it was just a really nice song with this really amazing build-up. And when I listened to the real song, I was like, oh, this song doesn't sound anything like the trailer. It was one of those, like, trailer remixes, where them, like, they didn't do the part in the trailer where they do, like, 50 times to build the build. In the real song, they just do that, like, once. So I was like, you know what? Since the trailer isn't on Spotify, and I can't listen to the trailer when I'm, like, driving to work, I'll make my own song that has the same build as the trailer version.
That's hilarious.
We ripped off.
That's hilarious.
We ripped off the Okja movie trailer.
That's hilarious. Well, I fell for it. That's awesome. So at the end of the album, you have Yeehaw. Now this is a song. It starts quiet-ish for you, and I keep waiting for it to explode. I'm like, oh, is this how they're going to end the album? They're just going to kind of fade away. Nope. Right there at the end, you bang out the guitar and bring everything to a huge crashing close, which I think is perfect.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, it was intentional to make that song last.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like, I don't know. At the end of the day, we're just having fun, and I think ending that way was just kind of funny, and like, it's not that serious. We're just we're just making tunes, and it's really funny.
There's a joyfulness in your sound.
Well, it's really funny. So at the very end, after like we were in the studio and we recorded that, like 20 seconds after you stop the song, and there's always that awkward silence where everybody's like, can we put their guitars down?
Right.
And Wes is always, Wes is like watching the stop button. He's not pressing it because he's like waiting for everything. And Austin, who played bass on the album, just lets loose a do 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 do, boom, and then Wes stopped it after that, and it's so quiet. But when we were getting it mastered, the people who mastered it cut that part out because it was so stupid. And we after the first revision, we were like, "Hey, I'm sorry, you have to put that back in." And it's so quiet because Wes had already turned off the bass amps and everything. That is just coming through from like the ambient sound of the.
It's almost like
room.
an Easter egg for people listening.
Yeah, well, because we always do that at practice. We always go da do da 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 da, and we play the wrong note. We're like, wow. And it's so stupid, but I think that's always how I think like how the album ends with Austin being goofy, because it's just it's not. I don't know. When I say it's not that serious, I don't mean it's like downplay anything, but we're just playing songs. We're just having fun.
Yeah, you're creating stuff out of thin air and having fun doing it.
Yeah,
that comes through, and again, that big guitar presence on the album, it adds a nice texture to everything you're doing.
Thank you.
So what's next? CalicoLoco. We're recording this at the end of March, early 2025. Are you mapping out the next few months? Are you going to do some shows coming up?
Yeah, we got a couple shows. Nothing's really been announced, but we're just some local shows. We're playing Stoop Fest.
Right.
But we're just kind of taking our time, enjoying the process. It's after you release an album, it's kind of like tiring. The whole like nonstop. Also, like the whole self-promotion cycle gets really tiring, and
I get it.
we do all that stuff ourselves. So I think we're probably we're gonna take some time to write. We've been writing songs over the last year. Holly start doing some recording, but I don't know. We're just
I feel like we're mainly writing right now, and like that's our main focus is just kind of getting back into that, see what we want to do. I think we have a good idea, so we're just continuing that and some shows in between. So
I totally get the whole self-promotion thing, how fatiguing it can be. Which of you is better at that?
Danny.
honestly, I'm not good at it, but we have so many really cool fans that promote us for us, and it's amazing. I don't know what we just deserve this. We literally just had somebody, their name is Justin, they just sent us randomly out of the blue, they made us the sticker sheet, and I'm like this is the coolest thing ever. And it's been so long, I haven't got it printed yet because I don't know how. If anybody knows how to make a sticker sheet, please respond to this podcast and then please tell me, because I don't know how to get it actually made.
And how do you make them scratch and sniff?
That's the next step.
There's the milestone we've been looking for.
We used to sell candles too.
Yeah, we were the candle band. They were so good.
I love okay, true story. We're on Southport just by Addison. I got here early, as mentioned. It's something I always do. It's a curse. I walked down the street past the L tracks. There's a candle store up there. I'm like, oh, I like candles. Let me see what they have.
Did you go spend $100 on candles?
Holy shit! The 10-ounce candles are $30 a piece. But if you buy 4, you get 1 free. So for $90, you get 4 10-ounce candles.
That's how they get you.
Oh my god! And once you walk in, it's like, okay, I can't Homer Simpson my way into the bushes and exit. Like I need to really make a show of this and sniff the candles and really act like I couldn't just walk out. I'm like, oh, cedar, fantastic, and pineapple, leather, great. I'm like, well, thank you very much for your time. I can't do it.
It's.
I do like candles, but $30, no.
No, ours were $20, and even then we felt like, oh, these are expensive. But candles. I don't know. Candles are like one of those things where you don't realize how expensive they are until you make them. And I remember when we got the first quote, I was like, I don't know. I always think of like we're so used to like that shitty stuff they sell at like TJ Maxx.
Yes.
Like the $4 candles that
Right.
smell terrible. That
They
when you
do.
smell a real candle, you're like, oh my god.
Yes.
I'll spend $30 on this.
Yeah, there was one that smelled like sage. I'm like, oh, that's lovely. But no. But here we are.
It's
All right, so CalicoLoco, congrats on everything that got you here. And by here, I mean this moment in time, not this car outside
Tola.
Cafe Tola eating empanadas.
this is pretty peak. I gotta be honest.
This is the milestone.
The
right
horchata
here.
was so good. It
I love a good horchata.
was so thick. It was,
Because, again, it's like drinking a cup of rice pudding.
it's a milkshake that feels like it's healthy.
That's
Even
exactly
if
right.
it's not.
Love the band, love what you're doing, and I appreciate you hanging out in Southport with me tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
thank
you.
for meeting us.